Hi, I'm Mark Camoccio from Mart TV, and this time I'm going to show you one of the very latest air rifles from Hatsan. I've said it before, but one of the shooting shows, probably a couple of years ago now, I picked up a product catalogue from them, and it was literally half an inch thick, and it was pure air guns. Hatsan are one of the most prolific manufacturers of air guns now, and they're quite imaginative in their approach to a lot of things. They do obviously pneumatics, but a lot of them are sort of conventional spring-powered air guns, and this is what you'd have to fairly describe as a budget sporter. It's the AirTact, Hatsan AirTact PD synthetic, and at the moment they're only about £100. You might even get it less than that. So a bit of, obviously without the scope, but a bit of a bargain as well as a sort of good all-rounder. It's a conventional break barrel air gun, so obviously you break the barrel in the conventional way, load your pellet directly, and that's a sort of time-honoured design for air guns. There's still, if you've never used a break barrel, you know, we often use more complicated competition guns. You always expect an awful lot, but there's a lot of fun to be had by going back to a nice sort of traditional design like that, and they've still got an awful lot to offer. I'd say for £100 you're getting an awful lot of features with this. If we start at the front, you've got fibre optic sights, so that's your open sight there. That's all integral with this moulding here. Now that is sort of a barrel cocking aid. When you look inside, to about 2 inches back the barrel starts, and it's not enclosed at the front, so it's not a silencer as such, but it's a nice solid, very comfortable cocking aid, as well as having your bead foresight hooded for protection. Fibre optics, you're sort of using the little elements there which amplify sort of ambient light, so it makes shooting with open sights very very easy, and a far cry from our old original ones that we always used as kids. Look to the rear sight, and you've got again fibre optics. You've got green elements there that make up the notch. You've got full wheel adjustments. That's a really nice little sight actually, and you've got full adjustment on that. And it's, well, as I say, I'd always say with open sights, don't rush to put a scope on, because you've got a lot of fun and surprisingly accurate shooting in a relatively close range that you can do with those before you even opt to put a scope on. So obviously we've got the main synthetic stock, which sort of grabs the eye at the start. It's all one moulding, and then you've got a rubber pad on the end. The pad's a bit hard. I don't quite know why they have to be quite so hard, but it is rubber, but it's quite solid. This is all again one moulding here. You've got stippling that's all part of the moulding. You've got that nice raked back grip, and I must say that I've got large hands, but that feels very comfortable in the aim. Obviously got a cheek piece all lined in. There's something that's very unusual with this rifle, in that they've gone for a plastic sort of nylon sleeve that I've had the action out of the stock actually to check up on this, but that sort of runs just round that. It's a separate piece that runs all round the back of the cylinder, and it's sort of an unusual way of dealing with the back end. So you've got your integral scope rail at the back there, and then you've also got like an integral arrestor, so you can put your mount right up to the back of that, and you know that's obviously going nowhere. So given the fairly significant recoil you're going to get on spring guns, that takes care of that nicely. You've also got a 2-stage trigger, and it is adjustable, fairly basic, but it's got a very nice broad front flat face to it, which just makes a massive difference. You look at a lot of cheap guns on the market, and they've got a very curved metal blade, and it's quite stiff on the pull, and it does hurt your fingers. But this is very comfortable in use, and it's not a major, it's not overly heavy weight either. Looking to the back, you've got an automatic resettable safety catch, very sort of Webley Amiga-esque, but that's a compliment, because it's in exactly the right place and it works a treat. That's automatic, so when you cock the gun, that's automatically set. You can't decock the gun, you've got to take off the safety and then take your shot. But all in all, as I say, I've been quite impressed with this. Out of the box, I mean, you're only, as I say, looking at £99 without the scope. It's you can't expect wonders, and they're going to vary from one to the other. A bit more lubrication on this would significantly smooth it up a bit. As it stands, very easy to cock, quite a smooth cocking stroke, but there's quite a bit of spring resonance, you know, spring twang when you fire. But I've had sort of 3/4 of an inch, just check my detail, 3/4 of an inch at 25 yards, which that was using Air Arms Diablo and ViroArc FT exact pellets, and a sort of 10-shot string. I had 13 feet per second total variation, so pretty consistent as well. 10.8 foot-pounds on test, so sort of fairly textbook results there for a nice basic but very pleasant budget Springer. So that's the Hatsan AirTact PD synthetic.